Okay, so this is gonna be my like third time recording this, but yeah, so I am unemployed, as the title suggests, and I'm just this is my pitch for somebody to hire me, and I'm just gonna be as honest and straightforward as possible. I really don't care. Uh, so yeah. Uh, First of all, I'm a straight A student. I mean that's pretty much all I can say about that. I made the dean's list multiple semesters in college. Um, I don't know if it's all of them. I have no idea. But anyways, I also volunteered during high school and college. I was in 9 separate bands in high school, so I learned multiple different instruments. I've worked with computers since I was like 8. I had an internship in college. That was just basically helping with research. I've worked since I was 16 to 22, so for about 6 years. I had to take one little break during COVID because one of my immediate family members was terminally ill, so I couldn't really work. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I don't know. I think that's a pretty good description. And I basically worked as a manager. I was promoted from assistant to manager. I also worked as a cashier in my first job, where I was also promoted to like a customer service agent or something similar like that. I worked in the property office. I worked on it as a research intern. I worked another retail spot as like a sales associate. I'm trying to think. Is there any other jobs I worked? I worked like data annotation, which is like that semi-sketchy like freelance website that like is actually pretty nice, except when they just ghost you and basically take away your work, which is what happened to me. Um, but I tried that, so that was nice to make a little bit of money. Um, but besides that, I've done a lot, I'd say, pretty varied. I also self-taught myself 2 different coding languages and a lot of other stuff. I'm a very curious uh, person, and I'm also a very hardworking person. I love putting my entire self into things. Too much sometimes, probably, but like, especially for part-time jobs. But I still did it at, like every job I've ever had. I've always been the one that steps up and like says that we're gonna do it this way, the right way, and we're gonna do it to completion. Like it should be better than when we got here. Whatever we're doing, we can improve it. And did I take that too seriously when I was trying to race myself at Walmart, like with my checking out speeds, because there was like a speed tracker? Yeah, that probably was unnecessary, but I was also 16. So, but yeah, that's a little bit of background on me. I'm sure there's more I could say. I just this is very free form. I didn't like think about it at all. But I just thought I should make a pitch. If anybody wants to hire me as a bit or not a bit, I mean, please not a bit, then reach out. I'm a pretty awesome dude. Unironically, I am. I actually quite like myself. Which is why this next part is like kind of confusing because maybe you don't want to hire me, but admittedly, like everything I said was good. I've never had any criminal offenses. I've never had any issues. All I said was good stuff, and that's pretty much true. I mean, honestly, um, like I'm a pretty hireable person, I think. But unfortunately, I've also been unemployed for 2 years. That's right, 2 years. Uh, Probably well over 1,000 applications, probably closer to 2,000 if not more. Um, and I've tried it all. I've redone my resume many times. I think I got like 6 different ones. I've tailored it to many different jobs. I've done cover letters. I've called businesses. I've walked into businesses. Um, I've worked with career coaches. I've worked with probably a dozen and a half ish different connections. And yeah, I basically have learned, and I don't know if this is true for everybody. I don't think it is because many of my friends outside of college, or when they got out of college, got jobs instantly because of people they knew from college. But so I guess I don't know how true this is for everyone, but basically nobody gives a fuck about me. Is pretty much what I've learned. Because the people that want to help me just start ignoring and ghosting me. Like if our help, like, and keep in mind they completely say they're willing to help me. They make it sound like they really want to work with me, etc. And then they just ghost me after a while. Like if it takes too long, if I don't get a job within that first week or two, like, they're out. And keep in mind, they don't really help me at all. Like, really. I don't know if any of my connections have actually helped me at all. I don't think any of them have. Damn, I didn't really think about that until now. I don't think a single one of them has done a single thing for me. And to be fair, the main way you'd help me is by getting me a job. So, anything besides that is much lower down, like, the priority list. As in, like, it almost at the bottom. Unless it's, like, connecting me to another person who could possibly give me a job. And I hate to say that, but, I mean, it's true. It all just comes down to that golden ticket. The you're hired ticket. Uh, but yeah, I've worked with career coaches that have ghosted me. Unironically, career coaches have ghosted me. I'm currently getting ghosted. I've done, and I do follow up emails and messages. I just want to make that very clear. Let me check my email really quickly. Maybe he responded. Nope, he has not responded. So I'm currently being ghosted for 4 days, like 4 or 5 days, by a government issued career coach that, like, literally gets paid by the government to provide counsel. Like, I'm just wondering, like, what sin did I commit? Like, what, like, I'd say there's probably felons, there's probably criminals that have gotten a job faster than I have in the last 2 years. So, like, why? Like, I don't know. It's really difficult because I kind of sound whiny. I sound victim, right? And I didn't feel like a victim. I felt like it was my fault for about a year and a half. But I can say with certainty that I have like changed. I've changed as a person fundamentally. I became a much better, more responsible person. I'm much more on top of things, and I can tell you right now, it made zero difference. And everything that I've tried, every like thing, every suggestion, every little change that I've made has done nothing for me. Absolutely nothing. There's no correlation between the interviews that I've had. No correlation. Um, so like it's really hard to blame myself anymore because I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do differently. It's like I had a really big like character arc. Like I have like kind of grown into an adult in the last like half year. Um and I actually feel more optimistic than ever, but literally nothing has changed. Like nothing has changed. Like it's just so funny because it all simply comes down to work. It all comes down to having a job. Everything that I want to do, whether I want to do it or whether I need to do it, is superseded by not having a job. Every time. I guess going for like a walk. Uh, Going for a walk is probably the one thing I can think of. Unironically, like if you get into the details of everything, going for a walk is probably the only activity I can think of, or some like park activity where it isn't superseded by like money. Like literally the only thing I can think of. So yeah. So that's kind of my point. Is just it kind of blows because I can't really do anything else. It's like being trapped in like a room. Let's say you're trapped in a room, just completely white room with a door and a keyhole, and there's just a button. And every time you want to hit the button, you have to fill out like 4 sheets of paperwork that are the exact same each time with maybe little like variations. And then you have to click the button and hope that like a key drops from the ceiling. And by the way, you aren't gonna know whether that key drops for like upwards of a month or more. I actually got an interview from someone from, I think it was 2 years ago from when I first applied. They had my old resume. They sent it to me. And you know the funniest part about that person? They scheduled a Zoom call interview 30 minutes before it happened. So I basically missed the entire interview because how how could I have known? I didn't get the email. I was even at home. I was literally like out doing shit. And the email I sent for them before was like, "Oh yeah, I'm down to schedule something. Let's send me the job details and all that stuff because the job hadn't been updated for 2 years, like the one I applied for." So I sent, yeah, send me like the updated job information. We can schedule an interview. So the next day, or maybe it was later that day, they simply sent me a Zoom 30 minutes before the appointment, and then I reached out back to them and said, "Yo, uh, I didn't know that you were gonna schedule that so like quickly. I'm down to do an interview. I wasn't at home. I didn't expect it." They ghosted me. They ghosted me. Of course, they ghosted me. As usual. As usual. So, yeah, I don't really know what else to do. Um, there's like two ways out of this room, which is death and homelessness, I guess. I don't really know what else to do. I think my faith has really shattered after getting ghosted by the government career coach. And I, by the way, I didn't reach out to the workforce development shit for so long because I was worried that like my last resort option wouldn't be like good enough. Like I didn't think it would get me a job. I was right. I was right. I'm always right. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I've been hit with so many fines and, or sorry, so many it'll be fines and it'll be okays, and just keep your head up and be optimistic. And it's actually funny. I sound whiny and bitchy right now. No, I'm a very nice person, very optimistic person. I'm very ambitious, laid back, um, and I genuinely believe that I will have a great life. But like, what else am I supposed to think in this situation? Like, how am I supposed to keep telling myself it'll be fine? I told myself it'll be fine 2 years ago. Uh, 2 years ago, I said it would be fine, and it has not been fine. I just don't really know what else to say, honestly. And I don't know what parts I've already talked about. I apologize. But like, then you have another whole ass side to the coin, or the cube, if you will, which is like social status. I wouldn't even call it status. I'd call it like impression. But no, no one thinks. Everyone thinks you're a waste of space. Everyone hates you. Like unironically, okay, maybe hate is a strong word. No one takes you seriously. No one really cares about what you have to say. Nothing that you really talk about matters because you don't have a job. So like, why should you even have an opinion? Um, I mean, it's just like my life right now. It's like everything that I want to do is superseded by the job thing. Well, everything anyone thinks about you is superseded by the job thing. So I think it's a good way to put it. So yeah, on top of like being desperate, literally on my knees begging for a job, I also am being scrutinized by everyone around me because I'm not being given one. And I say that specifically, given one, because I have earned one by now. I have beyond earned one. I've at least earned a retail position here, and I've applied for plenty of them. I have earned myself something, and I've gotten nothing. I've gotten literally nothing. I've gotten better at making resumes. Um, I was already good at interviews, so I've improved marginally, I suppose. But yeah, I pretty much have gotten nothing in return for my 2 years of investment. And if I knew it was gonna be like this, I would have went back to school or done something else. But I just assumed that with a college degree there would be, I could maybe wash dishes at least. Uh, but no, I can't. Apparently, I'm not qualified for that. And there's better applicants. So my bad. I didn't know John, the fucking 30-year dishwasher, was pulling up. My bad. Uh, but yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, so that's about it.